Hey everyone, good evening. I'm Darrell Winninger from the Central Oregon Daily Weather Center. We are about to do a deep dive into your most reliable forecasts. And our active weather pattern is right around the corner. I should say an unsettled weather pattern because, yes, back to back to back fronts are on the way. We are looking at a shift in what's been happening to what's coming up next, but we're not looking at too much in the way of snow accumulation, not even at the higher elevation. However, between now and the time this unsettled weather pattern is over, we are looking at some changes. So let's start off with what's happening right here and right now across the high desert. When we look outside, there's a whole lot of cloud cover. There is some haze, some of that smoke from different prescribed burns and pile burns across central Oregon, but also some precipitation. Now, currently, we can't see any of that precipitation through the cameras except for that Pine Mountain Observatory or the Pine Mountain camera looking way out off in the distance. You can see a little bit, but here's what's going on. Through the next several days, our winter storm impact graphic shows some limited impacts. And as we look at the bigger picture, this unsettled weather pattern, again, it starts up later on tonight. And it looks like the graphic's a little cut off on top. That's okay, though. Here's what we're looking at. We have 1, 2, 3 different fronts. Each one is going to roll through central Oregon, and each one impacts us a little bit differently. So as of right now, across the Tri-County area, we do have some showers starting to push in. Let's go ahead and get over to cameras and take a look at that. Currently, most of our roads are dry. Some of them are a little bit damp, and we can see some of that haze out there. But here through the overnight hours, we're going to start to see rain and snow showers. Then that's going to become widespread. But even through the passes at this evening hour, we don't see too much in the way of precipitation falling or any snow on the road. So that's definitely some good news. Now, when it comes to satellite and radar, we've already started to see some of those rain and snow showers roll in. So here through the cameras that we were just looking at, the only ones that would have been impacted are Santiam Pass, definitely Santiam Junction, Willamette Pass, and getting down into Diamond Lake Junction. But there is a little bit of snow in the highest elevations. Not all of it's reaching the surface, though, and Hood hasn't seen much at all so far. So let's backtrack. Let's go ahead and look at those cameras again. And what we're actually seeing is some of the roads are a little damp, but for the most part, it does not look too bad at all. Here's what you can expect going forward. Through the next couple of hours, these showers start to roll down the east slopes of the Cascades by 7 p.m. Some of our roads a little damp, but not wet. Now, by 11 p.m., we'll be getting snow through the Cascades, and in our lower elevations, it's mostly just wet precipitation, mostly just rain, but even through Santiam Pass, we're getting some areas of patchy ice. Moving it down to Willamette Pass, it's light snow that's starting to accumulate on the road, just for that stretch near Odell Lake and getting right up past the PCT. Once you start going down in elevations, it looks like it's not nearly as bad. In Diamond Lake Junction at that time, we're looking at either patchy ice or some snow that's starting to stick to the road, but it doesn't actually stop there. This continues to go, and as we go into the early morning hours, we're starting to see some clearing, but still slick spots on the roads are going to be possible. So ultimately, we haven't had anything in the way of new precipitation. In fact, it has been pretty dry the last several days outside of a few sprinkles, and there's just no new snow to report on. Going forward, looking at that powder prognosis for Wednesday, sunrise is at 7:28. Between now and 7 a.m., less than an inch of snow through the Cascades, but both at Bachelor and at Hoodoo, we are looking at more snow through the Cascades. Some rain and snow showers as temperatures briefly pick up above freezing up at Hoodoo, but ultimately we could be getting a little bit of light snow totals through Santiam Pass, each one of our passes really, and up at Bachelor. Right now, the cameras up at Bachelor look pretty dry, and other cameras across the high desert are showing some of this haze. That haze is from a couple of different things. Number one, we have a high pressure over the region. That subsidence is pushing some of the smoke particulates from different prescribed burns closer to the surface. And number two, some of those wood-burning fireplaces and stoves out there. Now, there is an air quality alert to our south, or I should say there is a pair for Klamath and Lake counties, but for Central Oregon, we don't have any. Now, here in the last couple of hours, we've had good to moderate air quality, the hourly average at least. The real-time sensors are also showing good to moderate, except for one of them. The one in Madras is unhealthy for sensitive groups. And when we look at the Purple Air Network, these are more sensitive ones. Some of them are unhealthy for sensitive groups, but few of them are showing red or unhealthy. Now, satellite and radar does have these rain and snow showers cresting over the Cascades and starting to come down the east slopes. And this is part of that first system out of the back-to-back-to-back fronts that are going to be impacting us. And so we've been getting these showers on the other side of the Cascades through the afternoon. They're just about to start to impact us right here in Central Oregon. And I went backwards. Let me go ahead and go forward, catch up to where we are. Now, the enhanced infrared satellite imagery and pressure show a couple different things. First off, the pressure, the white lines, are pretty spread apart, so it doesn't look like it's too breezy. In a couple parts of Central Oregon could be a little bit breezy, but we have this thick cloud cover over Central Oregon. Just most of the precipitation is along and west of the Cascades. Now, when we look at the bigger picture and zoom out even further, there's a couple things we're noticing. First off, the jet stream, it starts to break apart. And we are seeing a little bit of activity at the top of this ridge of high pressure, but high pressure is the main feature that's been driving our weather pattern. So it's going to take a little bit to break down this high. So that's why we have system after system that will be pushing through. Each one brings its own set of changes, but also the subtropical jet is going across Baja, across northern Mexico into the Gulf Coast. But for Central Oregon, we have seen a whole lot of cloud cover, not much in the way of precipitation yet. Now, when it comes to water vapor, there's a lot of moisture ready to go over Central Oregon, and looking back out over the Pacific Ocean, even getting over the Gulf of Alaska, those isobars, those equal lines of pressure, the white lines, are pretty tightly stacked up next to each other. And that means that winds are going to be getting breezy through the next couple of days, just not as bad today. So here through tonight, scattered rain and snow showers. By the time we get to Wednesday, early clearing, PM clouds, and some sprinkles during the day and again overnight. Again, each one of these systems isn't going to be extremely strong. We even catch a warm front on Thursday, but it pretty much fizzles out as it's pushing through. So some of our relative humidity is pretty high, but for the most part, it's not too bad. And we are looking at some precipitation falling across the high desert through the next couple of days. Now, highs in the last 24 hours, 30s and 40s with 52 degrees in Prineville. That's a warm spot on the map, and right now it is chilly, and some of us already either at or below freezing. We're at freezing in Madras and Redmond. Sisters, 30 degrees, so already below freezing. That puts us running between 5 degrees warmer and 12 degrees cooler than 24 hours ago. And tonight we are falling back into the 20s, not getting as cold by tomorrow morning, so only a few teens, maybe some 30s, and then by tomorrow afternoon, getting into the 40s. Now, as we go forward, this changing weather pattern is going to continue to really impact us. Sometimes a fog are going to be possible, but not nearly as bad as last week. And we are looking at these areas of wintry mix through the next 48 hours, and then another shift in our weather pattern. Ultimately, it's going to start to die down and high pressure starts to build back into the region, but there's going to be another front by Friday at 11 p.m. way out over the Pacific Ocean. And notice some snow in the highest elevation. So as we go forward, we're going to look at one more forecast model, and then we're going to look at some of those totals. So here's the one that we typically use on air, and it does show that we have a cold front rolling through tonight and another system way out over the Pacific Ocean. So tonight's system brings rain and snow showers, then we start to see that AM clearing. By Wednesday and Wednesday night, some rain showers. All of that is prefrontal action and that front pushing through. And then by Thursday, a warm front moves through. This is where the other one left off. It shows that by Friday, a cold front approaches, starts to fizzle out, and we're looking at some moisture from that cold front. So ultimately, not a lot is happening across Central Oregon. We're looking at rain and snow showers with few light totals even expected between now and the beginning of next week. So winds, a little breezy at times for parts of the high desert. The gusts right now, some of the higher ones between 10 and 20 miles per hour. This is exactly what we were forecasting, 5 to 15 miles per hour gusting at 20 plus. And winds haven't been too strong in the last couple of hours, breezy at times. And then the next couple of days, it's still going to be breezy at times across Central Oregon. Most of those winds out of the southwest at times. So for tonight, we're talking 20s with a few teens and 30s. By tomorrow, we're talking 40s with a few 30s, maybe a couple 50s, but remember, we have that first cold front out of many pushing through during the overnight hours and fizzling out over the region. So as we go forward, Our 7-day planner shows a gradual warm up. We get a dip in temperatures by tomorrow, then through the 40s, reaching into the 50s. Notice we have several systems that are going to be bringing us a chance of some precipitation through the next 7 days. But even after warming into the 50s, we cool down again early next week. We're back into the 40s for Monday and then 51 degrees by Tuesday. So, our weather headlines for this Tuesday, January the 27th, include our next cold front. That's tonight. Rain and snow showers, but not much in the way of totals, and the majority of our totals come Wednesday night going into Thursday with that next system. But a gradual warming trend sets up with more late week precipitation in the forecast. That's that next system that's going to be a little stronger. So ultimately, we do have some rain and snow showers already rolling in to Central Oregon. And over the high desert this evening and tonight, we're looking at some rain, some snow, just not much in the way of totals at all. That's the latest in weather. Join us tonight on Central Oregon Daily News. We'll have the latest headlines and your most reliable forecast. We'll see you then.